were stories that have been making headlines in the last 12 hours.
Time has come for us to gather as families, as communities, and as a nation.
Merry Christmas. President Ruto and First Lady sent Kenyans a goodwill message. A bitter Christmas. Stampede as Mumias East residents scramble to get a kg of sugar. And on a sad note, 2 die in a road crash as 4 die under unclear circumstances in Buruburu, Nairobi.
Good evening. Once again, if you're tuning in, this is Sunday Express. I'm Regina Manyara and my colleague is Byron Abuli. Now, President William Ruto and First Lady Rachel Ruto have sent the season's greetings to Kenyans on the eve of Christmas ahead of the new year. They called on Kenyans to share the occasion with family, friends, and not forget the less fortunate.
Hello, children. Hello. And how are you? Fine. Wonderful. Let me ask you something. How many of you know why we celebrate Christmas? Okay?
We celebrate Christmas because Jesus was born.
And you?
We celebrate Christmas because it's Jesus' birthday.
Oh, it's Jesus' birthday. And you said it because
Jesus was born.
Jesus was born.
Okay, children, let me read a passage from the Bible for us to understand the true meaning of Christmas. We are reading from the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verses 18 to 21. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ was as follows. After his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, not wanting to make her a public example, was minded to put her away secretly. But while he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take to you Mary, your wife. For that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. And she will bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins.
Once again, the time has come for us to gather as families, as communities, and as a nation to commemorate a singular event, the birth of the world's most transformative individual, Jesus Christ.
Christmas is our time to be encouraged by the fact that when Almighty God willed to dwell among us, he chose a couple from a humble background as the home of our Savior to remind ourselves that our humble, limited means are nothing but the starting point for better and greater things.
As we gather with our families and our communities to celebrate the joyous occasion of the birth of Jesus Christ, may we reach out to our brothers and our sisters in need with a loving hand, a kind word, a warm meal, and other gifts and acts of loving kindness and goodwill. Most of all, primarily, very important, that we pray for them.
As we celebrate with our loved ones, let's cherish the bonds that make us a resilient and vibrant nation.
Together, let us look forward to a new year filled with hope, progress, and shared prosperity. Season's greetings And may the coming year bring you peace, joy, and fulfillment.
Merry Christmas
and a happy New Year 2024.
Happy holidays indeed. Now, Nairobi town remained a beehive of activities Sunday as shoppers and those travelling up country made the last-minute rush. Bus stations were packed to the brim with travellers lamenting hiked fares. Those who opted to remain in the city, however, blamed the harsh economic times to their predicament.
Nairobi's Central Business District Sunday. Unlike other normal weekends when it's always deserted, with a handful of stores and shops opened, today was the direct opposite. Being a Christmas Eve, the town is buzzing with activities, with people making final purchases and some rushing to catch the last-minute bus upcountry. Retailers and hawkers are lamenting poor sale unlike other past festive seasons.
Imekuwa na challenges. Kwa mfano ukiangalia saa hii wateja wako, tumekaa hapa kuanzia asubuhi, kanguoni kamoja nimeuza. Kwa hivyo ni sikukuu, lakini ni sikukuu ya njaa tu.
At downtown and Machakos Country Bus, upcountry PSV made long queues to pick passengers. Travelers who decried hiked fares said it's a festive season celebrated with frowned faces.
Watu unasema wanaenda Machakos, walikuwa wanasema bei sijui ni 300, saa hii ni 1000. Sikupenda kwa wenye magari ama sikupenda kwetu. Ni gharama ya maisha iko juu.
Njia kwenda Western iko na ngiri 3, njia kwenda wapi Kitale kila pahali iko na ngiri 3 na vipusi.
Na mbeleni ilikuwa pesa ngapi?
Hapo mbeleni ilikuwa afadhali.
Nauli kawaida imekuwa 600, but kwa saa hii tunaambiwa ni 1200.
Those who chose not to travel up country had their reasons.
Sasa nimeamua kukaa Nairobi na familia. Sasa hatusafiri kwenda masambani. Sio na tumekosa pesa. Tumeamua tubadilishe shule yetu hapa Nairobi kwa Januari.
Hai kwenda nyumbani ni shilingi 3000. Na shule pia watoto Januari inakuja, watoto wanafaa waende shule. Sasa hii ukienda ukirudi hiyo ni 10,000.
Wazo mimi niko na desha tuko na tanga na 1500, lakini sasa hiyo wananiambia tenga 3. Sasa mimi kwa vile sina nimeamua turudi tu mtaani tu ani.
Nimepata fare imehike twice. Kutoka Badi na Nakuru wanalipisha 700. So nikashindwa nifanye aje. Mimi ile pesa nilikuwa nayo mbele na nyuma ilikuwa 500.
Maisha hapa Nairobi na Kenya mzima imekuwa changamoto. Uchumi ni kama imesoroteka.
And away from the CBD hassles, others chose to spend time at amusement and food joints. At the Gravity Amusement Park along the Eastern Bypass, revelers had a good time as they enjoyed roller coasters, games and delicacies.
Place like here, you can do an activity that fits your pocket, makes the family happy. What you're looking for is happiness in the family.
The venue is big. Tumefungua paka kiwanja ingine kabisa, ma games ziko mingi, hata zile unique games. Not all, uta have fun with your family, trust me.
Michael Moniga for Sunday Express.
Spreading the Christmas cheer. Now Kenyans have been urged to forgive as they celebrate Christmas. While delivering a sermon at the All Saints Cathedral in Nairobi, Provost Evans Omolo said forgiveness will not only unite the country but also give the entire population hope in the face of difficult economic times.
Faithful, the young and the old converged in churches for the Christmas Eve service. The clergy calling for reconciliations among Kenyans.
We want to ask Kenyans during this season that we enjoy as we should, but we must allow Jesus Christ to be central in our moments of enjoying across the board. And therefore, as you celebrate and enjoy, please allow Jesus Christ to be central. Allow the Christian values to shape even how we do things. And that is why we are even calling on people who are a little blessed to remember those who do not have.
Catholic Provost Evans Omolo urged Kenyans to mend every broken relationship for a united country.
We want to also ask those who are traveling today, between today and New Year and coming back, please be responsible as you drive on the roads. This is the time that we experience a lot of accidents, but because everyone wants to rush, can you kindly be a responsible motorist? Don't be the reason any family loses their loved ones.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
The country was urged to foster on peace, especially at this time the country is facing hard economic times.
We are praying for the government, we are praying for the economy, we are praying for our county government, we are praying for each and every individual, our leaders. We are just praying that they will not be corrupt. We are praying that they will not be taking everything that they receive from our taxes. We are praying that they will be using and utilizing it for infrastructure, making sure that each and every one of us live a comfortable and a peaceful life.
A section of faithful lauded efforts by the church to unite the world during the current extraordinary times. Christian faithful will tomorrow join to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ.
To the government of Kenya, I'm praying for the leadership, that God may give them the grace of wisdom, that they may feel the need to actually listen to the people's voices. It is true, times are hard, but if they have good intentions, God will open the doors.
The economy has been very hard, and especially this year, we were very hopeful that a new year would bring good tidings. But unfortunately, things have been very tough, and we have survived. We have barely survived, and we think next year will be a better year, despite the difficult times that the government is predicting ahead of us.
Kenyans have, however, been urged to stay optimistic as the government tries to lift the country from hard economic hardships. For Sunday Express, I'm Alvin Kaunda.
May 2024 bring good tidings, including prosperity. On that note, we take a quick breather. We'll be back with more. Do not go away.
Unangoja nini? Namna ya kucheza Lucky Game sasa imerahisishwa. Dial *570# na 31st of December magari haya mawili na mtangaza mshindi. Ni rahisi, *570#.
Thank you for watching KBC Channel 1 the whole year. And as we come to the end of the year, mine is to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year 2024. I'm Judith Akolo.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is one thing we can always count on: the power of compassion and generosity. Every day, families in Kenya face unimaginable challenges and hardships. They struggle to put food on the table, provide shelter for their loved ones, and access basic health care. But today, you have the power to make a difference. By just contributing 1 shilling and 50 cents from your airtime, your generosity can provide access to sanitary pads, nutritious food, clean water, education, and life-saving medical care to those who need it most. To support this cause, please tune in to your favorite radio station under the KBC umbrella for step-by-step instructions on how to subscribe. KBC Helping Hands. Together, we can make a difference and bring hope to those in need.
Good evening. Now, a section of Mumias constituents in Kakamega County sustained minor injuries following a stampede over Christmas sugar donation. Now, the 1 kilogram sugar donation from Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasia saw thousands of residents around Kisumundogo scramble for the commodity, causing a stampede.
The area MP Peter Salasia had called the electorate for a Christmas gift of 1 kg sugar each. What was initially thought would be a happy ending turned out to be a painful affair for some residents of Mumias East Sunday morning. Hell broke loose, however, as the residents who had turned up in their numbers became unmanageable, overwhelming the local security guards who were manning the gate and who finally let loose the crowd flooding the MP's compound. Both the old and the young, women and men, were caught up in this stampede. Some sustaining serious injuries and were forced to be rushed to hospital. The MP is said to have fled the area before he was traced by journalists in Mumias town.
Ekelea kando kitu kidogo kwa yale kidogo ambayo kwa mshahara ambayo anapata, kusema kwamba at least kwa mwaka tukuje tukakae nao na tuweze kusherehekea pamoja, ili atakapata mtu akipata sukari, hiyo inakuwa ambao ni mwaka ambao tunaomba mwaka wa fanaka. So mimi nataka, tumekuwa leo na wananchi zaidi ya 5,000 ambao leo tumewapatia sukari.
He however remained tight-lipped on the stampede.
Well, that is a gesture that would have nearly turned more chaotic than it was. Now, Kenyans of goodwill have embraced the festive season with a spirit of sharing and extending a hand to the less fortunate in society. Tilio Marco gives us a roundup of the spirit of sharing across the country.
It was a rare treat for inmates at the Migori GK prison when Migori First Lady Agnes Ayako and the county's deputy governor's wife Evelyn Mairi visited the prison to deliver Christmas goodies. The duo said the gesture was not only to share meals and gifts, but to spread love to those behind bars.
We have beddings, we have clothings, we have nets, we have brought food to them, and other assorted items that are basic needs to a woman, like the sanitary towels and panties.
And it was equally a moment of joy for the vulnerable members of the society in Monty Village in Turkana County after they received foodstuffs from a well-wisher. Kago Mungai, who is the owner of the International Normas April, urged other well-wishers to sacrifice the little they have and share with the less fortunate.
So sisi tuliona ni vyema kama Mungu amefaulu kunipatia chakula ya kupea watoto wangu, kuna wale pengine hawana. So nikakaa chini na mke wangu na watoto wangu tukakubaliana tuje tukule pia na wale pengine hawangeweza kupata chakula siku ya leo.
Meanwhile, more than 500 vulnerable people in Limuru and Kikuyu constituencies of Kiambu County have benefited from Christmas gifts and goodies from well-wishers. Lab Fund Director Samuel Kariuki picked the needy families across the board and handed them Christmas goodies, urging Kenyans to produce more in their farms to lower the cost of basic commodities and reduce the cost of living.
Wakati hii mavuno itatoka kwa shamba, of course ile hali ya vitu ambazo ziko kwa soko itakuja chini, sababu ni ile demand ya supply na supply and demand. Kwa hivyo chakula itakuwa mingi, vitu kama mahindi itakuja mingi, kwa hivyo unga itakuwa chini.
Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
To some sad news, police are investigating an incident in which 4 people were killed in the wee hours of Sunday morning in Buruburu Phase 5 extension. Witnesses say they had gunshots at night and mistook them for fireworks, only to find the bodies of the victims in the morning hours. 3 bodies were lying beside a Suzuki Swift vehicle, while the 4th one was in the vehicle. Now, police have so far recovered an identification card belonging to Brian Moneki Kariuki and 2 daggers. The bodies have been moved to the city mortuary pending in identification and an autopsy.
Siku leo kufika kitu kama saa 8:30 nilipigiwa simu nikaambiwa gari yangu imepigwa marisasi na wakati nilikuja kwa parking nikapata yenyewe gari yangu imepigwa marisasi, lakini na imeharibiwa tu vitu kadhaa, na kulikuwa na gari ile ilikuwa ya waizi ilikuwa hapo, na kufikia asubuhi ndio polisi wametoa hiyo gari. Hapa mtaani kwetu hatujakuwa na shida ya usalama, leo tu ndio tumeamkia kupata hiyo shida, na gari yangu ilikuwa imepigwa risasi 17. So vile polisi walikuja wakaniambia naweza niende police station, wataniandikia abstract niende nikaclaim kwa insurance.
Two people died at dawn during an accident after a Mombasa-bound bus collided head-on with a trailer in Taru, Kwale County. One person died on the spot while the other succumbed to injuries as he was being rushed to the Samburu Sub-County Hospital. The incident caused heavy traffic snarl-ups along the busy Nairobi-Mombasa highway. Samburu Sub-County Police boss Lydia Mambo said several people sustained serious injuries and are recuperating at the Coast General Hospital.
Two people have died while several others sustained serious injuries after a Mombasa-bound bus from Migori County collided head-on with a trailer on Sunday morning. Witnesses say that the driver, who sustained serious injuries, was speeding before hitting the trailer head-on. The bus overturned due to the impact.
Tukastukia tu gari imeanguka, tuka lose control, tukakuwa absent-minded, ndio hapo tulibebwa tukaletwa hapa hospitali.
Kuna wale wenye walitoka na wale wenye hawakuwa wakiweza kutoka.
The driver sustained fractures in the lower limbs and the upper arms, the upper limbs, but is stable. Pia yeye, we are referring to Coast General.
It took at least an hour to remove a minor and the bus conductor from the wreckage.
Huyo pia naye alikuwa amefinywa pale mbele. Tungangana tumemtoa, sijui kama bado yuko hai ama Mungu amsaidie mahali pale yako.
5 people are nursing serious injuries, with the majority of those injured transferred to the Coast General Hospital in Mombasa after receiving first aid at the Samburu Sub-County Hospital.
We have other patients who have chest injuries, sustained injuries to the chest. They are bleeding internally. We've gotten help from St. John's ambulance, so we are transferring them out to Coast General. The other patients had minor injuries, bruises, kwa miguu, mikono, so we've stitched them, tumewastabilize, tumewatuma for imaging.
The accident caused a snarl-up along the Mombasa-Nairobi highway. Samburu Sub-County Police boss Lydia Mambo called on motorists to exercise caution on the road, particularly during the festivity. Juni Karisambele from Mombasa County.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has assured Kenyans that the revival of the economy is on course. Speaking during a Sunday service at the PCA Church in Karatina, Nyeri County, the DP at the same time asked Kenyans to ignore opposition criticism of the ongoing initiatives by the government to rebuild the nation. Abdiaziz Hashim has the details.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was in his Nyeri backyard, where he attended a church service at PCA Church in Karatina. Here, the DP told off Raila Amolo Odinga Azimio-led wing over the status of the country's economy.
The same thing is happening today. Mimi nataka kuambia nyinyi watu ya nyumbani, hakuna shida. Tulipata nchi imefilisika. Na nilisema pale Kasarani, kwa store yetu hata pale alikuwa ametoroka, hakuna kitu ya kukula. Tumeanza Kenya afresh, and so far we are getting on well.
Gachagua says the economy is stable and out of danger and urged Kenyans not to worry.
Rais na mimi hatulali. Saa 11 asubuhi tuko kwa ofisi. Tunatoka saa 6 usiku. Tunangangana, na mnajua sisi ni watu ya bidii. Na mimi nakuambia kama hii kazi hizi hatuwezi, hakuna mtu mwingine anaweza. Na hii Kenya itarudi kwa barabara pole pole.
On the ongoing crackdown against alcoholism in central Kenya and drug abuse, the Deputy President said the exercise was 70% successful. Elsewhere, the Jubilee Party has accused the government of trying to subvert the will of the people by pushing amendments through the back door. Speaking in Embu during the election of party grassroots leaders, the party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni further accused the ruling alliance of not alleviating Kenyans from their current economic hardships.
We've been here before. Now we have come out. Even now, we will still come out. Don't give up. Let us come together and say enough is enough. And that's all we need to say. So that we can save what we can save, salvage what we can salvage, and then allow ourselves into the next level. Because I can assure you, 3 years, 7 months, and some 18 days, it's not a long while.
Abdiaziz Hashim for Sunday Express.
To the counties where Slovakia ambassador to Kenya Katerina Zufer has applauded the management of the St. Philip Nyeri Primary and Junior High School in Joska, Machakos County for the infrastructural development and education programs in the institution. Bradley Agutu reports in our County News Roundup.
Speaking during the 10th anniversary of the school, Zufa said the development will uplift education standards in the learning institution.
Your dedication and pursuit of educational excellence have laid the foundation of the success we are here today. Not only has your primary school flourished, but it has also extended in reach to the secondary level.
We provide a clear separation of the 3 sections of our school. We want to have an independent preschool section, or rather what we commonly call kindergarten. We want to ensure that we have a primary school, which is of course ending at grade 6. Then we want to ensure that we have independent junior secondary schools.
Allahu Akbar. Meanwhile, the International Jamia of Languages and Professional Studies has launched its 6th branch in Mombasa to help coastal residents learn foreign languages and ease their interaction with foreign tourists who visit the area. The Chief Executive Officer of International Jamia of Languages and Professional Studies, Dr. Hassan Omari Kinywa, called on the government to consider lowering the cost of certificates for the establishment of such institutions.
Tungeomba serikali waweze kufanya one stop shop ambao kwamba license itapatikana na wapunguze licenses za shule, na vile vile gharama ya kuajiri walimu si rahisi, gharama ya vitabu si rahisi, gharama ya technology si rahisi. Tunaomba sana serikali hasa TVETA waweze kufanya process ya ku certify na ku license wa shule iwe rahisi, kwa sababu hilo ni jambo limesumbua shule nyingi sana.
Muhimu lugha tuitumie kwa mambo ya manufaa katika jamii.
The public has been called upon to collaborate with security agencies in ensuring safety before, during and after the festive season. Eastern Regional Commissioner Paul Rotich, while speaking at his office in Embu, said security is multi-agency, hence the need for the public to report rogue elements in the society to avert crime.
Upande wa usafiri, deployment ya officers kwa barabara kuu imefanyika, na tuko na multi-agency teams ambayo watakuwa wakitekeleza hiyo kazi.
Bradley Agutu for Sunday Express.
The family of a 20-year-old university student detained at the city hospital over an 8 million shillings bill is appealing to well-wishers for financial assistance. Masood Kolo Salat, a student at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, JKUAT, has been receiving treatment at the Care Hospital in Nairobi. He was diagnosed with a perforated duodenal ulcer 6 months ago.
At Care Hospital, Nairobi, we meet Masood Kulo, a 20-year-old JKUAT student, getting his wound dressed by the doctor. Kulo has for the last 6 months been in agony and pain following the diagnosis of a perforated duodenal ulcer that resulted to blockage of his intestines.
I started feeling pain in the stomach from January. Then I was taken to hospital from July. Then I came to this hospital. They did some surgeries, and now I'm okay.
The doctors note that after undergoing multiple surgeries, Kulo is now in a stable condition and ready to be discharged.
Hata wakati alikuja tumbo hata ilikuwa nje yote, so tulipeleka theater akatengenezwa tena mara nyingi, akarudi theater kutengenezwa, na pia alienda ICU almost 2 weeks, alikaa kwa ICU. From ICU akaenda kwa HDU another week, baadaye akarudishwa tena theater mara kadhaa nyingi sana, hata haisabiki. Sasa tumbo imeshikana, hiyo mahali imeshonwa, iko sawa, kula chakula, anapitia choo, lakini shida sasa yuko akona pesa milioni 8 na mtakana alipe.
However, the family is unable to clear the substantial bill of 8 million shillings for him to be discharged and are appealing to well-wishers to come to their aid.
Hospitali kadhaa tulikuwa tumetoa bill vizuri, akaletwa hapa, na hii bill ilikuwa imegonga 9 million, tukatoa milioni 1 tayari, na tumeshindwa kutoa milioni 8. Hii sasa inadaiwa, anafaa kutoka hospitali, lakini kwa uwezo wetu hatuna. Tunaomba well-wishers wapate kutusaidia ili kijana apate kutoka hospitali apone. Baada ya kupona ndio apate kuenda kwa shule yake inshallah taala.
Due to the bill, I'm unable to move out of the hospital. I would like the Kenyans to help me pay the bill so that I can go back to my studies.
Contributions towards the bill can be channeled to M-Pesa till number 4095350. 4095350. Jacqueline Masharia for Sunday Express.
Kwenye ulimwengu wa sasa, taaluma za mikono zina umaarufu mwingi. Jiunge na Sensei Institute of Technology tukupe ujuzi na uzoefu wa kushughulikia ulimwengu. Tunafunza taaluma kama plant operator, plant mechanics, kuendesha gari na trailer, kuweka CCTV na alarm, kuweka solar, kuweka stima, motorcycle, motor vehicle mechanics na electronics, teknolojia ujenzi wa mijengo, ujenzi wa barabara na mabwawa, hospitality na taaluma nyinginezo. Kujiunga nasi, beba kitambulisho chako na utembelee tawi letu lolote. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Unangoja nini? Namna ya kucheza Lucky Game sasa imerahisishwa. Dial *570# na 31st of December magari haya mawili na mtangaza mshindi. Ni rahisi, *570#.
Still watching Sunday Express. Now, when on the road, it may be comfortably passed for a beast of burden. This is Isuzu FRR 10-ton truck. Ever wondered how this truck is put together? Now, tonight on The Process, we feature with Ben Troy, takes us through the whole process of assembling this cargo truck.
We arrive at the Isuzu East Africa ground, formerly General Motors, along Nairobi-Mombasa Road. The company has operated in the country for close to 40 years, churning out close to 6,000 vehicles annually.
So welcome to Isuzu East Africa. This is where we produce Isuzu. This is a home for Isuzu. We are basically assembling all the Isuzus you see on the road in Kenya from here. Starting from pickups, light commercial trucks, to the medium-duty trucks. We call them the N series. And then we have some other heavy-duty trucks from 10 tons all the way to 26 tons. We call them the F series. The Isuzu East Africa actually serves not just Kenya, but also Uganda, Tanzania markets, Those are the key markets.
You're known for the D-Maxes, we're known for the Isuzu trucks, you're known for the buses, institutions, schools.
Yes.
How many units do you manufacture here every year?
So every day we are doing about 30 units every day.
We are here to go behind the scenes of the process of assembling the popular Isuzu FRR 10-ton truck.
This is the highest selling brand in Kenya, selling over 2,000 vehicles a year. Preferred for especially the construction industry, can hold 200 bags of cement. You have a hardware, you see an FRR, if it's in the agriculture sector.
Just like with any assembly line, the process begins at the material handling center. Here, all materials necessary are sorted out.
Many parts are sourced from outside.
Yeah.
There are some locally made
absolutely
materials that go into the vehicles and the trucks that
Yes, absolutely. There are good items there. There are quite a number. Batteries, leaf springs, seats, floor mats, metal brackets, and others.
From here, the material inventory, which makes up the production plan, are later taken to the body shop, where the whole production takes place.
The body panels, they come as also completely knocked down form. So you can see the floor is separate from the roof. There is some level of sub-assembly done on the roof. Some reinforcement plates are welded on this jig. But once that sub-assembly is done, then now we go to the main framing jig. This jig is what helps us to keep the dimensional accuracy. So you can see the team, what they are doing is we load the panels to the jig and clamp them into position. We started with the floor, then we did the side panels. Now that's a back panel we are doing. We'll later on do the front panel and the roof panel. We clamp it to position and then we do spot welding. So the equipment you're seeing, the yellow equipment there is a spot welding guns that now that we use for the joinery process for the metal panels.
The cabin is next taken to the paint shop.
So we have quality control in every section. So we inspect, verify it's okay, then we allow it to go to paint shop.
Here, Isuzu has one-of-a-kind electro-deposition plant. And its cost?
This is how $500 million looks like. At ED, what we are doing is we are applying the initial primer coat using electricity, electro-deposition process, so that the entire cabin, we dip it in a bath of electrolyte, we pass current, and then the paint is uniformly spread on the surface of the cabin.
After the paint job, the cabin is skewered in an oven for 20 minutes. Here the temperatures are scorching to ensure retention of the paint. After the cabin cools, it is given the main paint job.
If a customer doesn't want a white truck,
yeah, we're able to arrange for that too. We develop paints. All we need to do is get the order before production. So with our sales team, we're able to do that even for, we've seen KBS, Coca-Cola, NYS, all those police with special colors. Any of those customers, or even yourself, you come and say you want an orange. So we just work with you.
Here it's a hive of activity as technicians rush to ensure they produce 30 trucks a day. The newly painted cabin now is ready for interior fittings. Next, the windshield is carefully installed.
So we will start with some primer application. That's the body primer. And then on the windshield itself, we shall put some sealant around and then we install. The power tools here around we use to compress air.
Still using conserving energy and everything.
Absolutely, yeah. It's compressed air is preferred in the auto industry.
The cabin is now fully complete after undergoing quality checks and is mounted on a chassis. The engine, which is one of the imported components, is assembled and also merged with the chassis. The FRR is almost complete, but before its first ignition, all the fluids crucial to any engine are poured in the engine. The engine rev could signal the truck is complete and ready to hit the road, but not yet. The next spot is the dynamic testing center where the vehicle undergoes a variety of tests.
We're testing the vehicle is now working. It's dynamic, is running. You run the vehicle, you actually make it run.
More or less like the final inspection.
Yes. So we run the vehicle on this equipment. We simulate the road environment. So here we're able to run the vehicle up to 80 kilometers per hour.
Including a shower test, and here they really make it rain.
If there's any drop of water, then that we should go back for review and a problem solving.
Later on, according to the customer's need, the truck is fabricated to suit the taste, varying from public service vehicle by that used by organizations. Staff at this busy plant say how work is like in the factory.
Having worked here, we meet quality standards, and Isuzu, we see Isuzu products around everywhere. The buses we ride in are Isuzu, the trucks you see carrying most of our goods are Isuzu. So for a fact, I can tell people that Isuzu is the best product to acquire, really.
We were recognized by the Federation of Kenya Employers as the overall winner of the 2023 Employer of the Year Awards. This award just signifies the kind of working environment that we have here at Isuzu.
Isuzu is also leveraging on technology and artificial intelligence, AI, as the world switches to electronic vehicles.
We have process innovations, and also there are product innovations that are coming up. So the process innovations I've shown in the material handling system, where we have an electronic pull system. This productivity and quality control system is also our own innovation. This system is custom made for Isuzu East Africa.
In May of 2023, Isuzu East Africa unveiled a special edition of Eliud 159 Isuzu D-Max in honor of the two-time Olympic marathon champion Eliud Kipchoge.
We identified with Eliud many years, not just recently. We've been with him for a couple of years, and we identified him as our brand ambassador. And with time we've worked with him, he's been able to win many awards. This brand is a limited edition. It's not, we are only selling 159 units.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed your visit here. Thank you for coming.
For the process, I'm Ben Troyenjue.
Well, now you know what it takes to actually assemble that truck. Now, cross-border female genital mutilation is one of the newest evolving tactics being used to propagate the outdated vice. The closely knit practice is rife at the Kenya, Tanzania, Somaliland, Ethiopia, and even Sudan borders. It's a charring of many regional and human rights organizations. The prevalence rates in some of the countries like Somaliland remain at an all-time high. Serafina Robi highlights some of the new tactics being used as she engages as a survivor of FGM.
My growing up was very beautiful, typical of a Maasai lifestyle.
As Esther Kuraro reminisces of her early childhood growing up in a polygamous Maasai home, looking after cows, she cannot help but remember the one incident that changed the course of her life: female genital mutilation.
Something in me had died, something had crashed. There's something they killed, that FGM killed something, because I was never myself again.
She narrates what happened before the actual day.
You know, that psychological preparation, nothing. People were just dancing, and I was even asked to go and dance with the Morans.
And on the fateful day,
so 3 women appeared. One was holding me this tightly with one hand and clasping my hand with another. And then another woman, I don't even know who, I just knew this one on my back. These other 2 women, I don't know where they came from. Well, this other one held my right leg to the farthest and held firm. Then this other one held the left leg. An old woman came. Her name was Tepeyu. I knew her. We knew her. Everybody knew her because I had seen her cut my sisters. Her finger was permanently like this. I started dying even before the cut. And I wanted to scream, but I couldn't scream because my mouth was... And now as she was cutting, the other women were shouting at me. I really bled, as expected. After some time, the woman said she was putting her fingers around the genitalia like this to feel if any flesh was left. And then she also did this. When she felt any flesh, she continued cutting. Until this is what I can never forget. She was sitting like this. And she was telling the other women, "Can you hear now? I have touched the bone." And then she called another woman to come and attest to that. So the woman put her fingers around and she confirmed that just as this other one said there is no more flesh. That's when the cutting stopped.
This had just started her journey of humiliation and pain even in university.
We had a good rapport with this young man, and at some point during the college years we were intimate with this young person. And when this young person saw my genitalia, when he saw my genitalia, how it was scarred with the scars and because of the missing parts, he just backed out.
Then came her delivery.
But the baby will not come out. I couldn't budge. The opening will not open. The baby couldn't come out. So the nurse realized that the baby was getting distressed, and she just took a razor blade and cut. After about 3 or 4 months, when I came back for family planning, the doctor was now taking me through the process. He asked me, "Were you cut when you had your baby?" I'm like, "Yes, how did you know?" He said, "Because the nurse who had cut you did not stitch you back."
The government of Kenya strongly condemns the vice.
Kenya is the only country with a board in place that is specifically dealing with FGM. A board that is being funded by the government, a board that Treasury is to push this agenda.
Even with the laws in place, there are gaps that need to be addressed.
Like the offenses and how much someone is supposed to pay or how long they're supposed to go to court or to jail and all that. People are feeling like we should be more.
In Somaliland, the statistics are extremely high.
Somaliland rateska gudniinku aad buu sareeyaa boqolkiiba 98 weeye.
In Somaliland, FGM is very high at 98%. Girls undergo FGM. Although there are different types of FGM, upcountry girls undergo type 4 of FGM, while in town they undergo the Suna FGM. Generally, FGM is very rampant in Somaliland.
Markaan maqlo gudniin hablo waxa maskaxda ku soo dhacayna waxaan yahay violence.
Whenever I hear FGM meted on a young girl, I know it's violence against young girls. They are being mutilated when they are so young. When girls are 10 to 11, they can't give consent. This act is cultural and not religious. Girls who undergo FGM miss lots of classes at school. FGM also causes health problems. I know women who have developed fibroids due to FGM. This means it's violence against women.
Countries acknowledge that one of the contributing factors to FGM is cross-border FGM.
And there's a research we did in 2017 that showed like more people from outside are coming into Kenya to cut their girls. But now over time, we have really worked on our borders to make sure that we are not having people coming in. And also we've had a declaration by the ministers of the region, the 5 countries, that is Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia and Somalia. And also we have an action plan in place that we have worked on with the 5 countries to make sure that our borders are safe.
This comes as new tactics emerge, including medicalization of FGM and cutting children when they are as young as 2 years old.
When we train health providers, they are supposed to protect life. They are supposed to not harm community. But when health providers or health professionals start practicing kind of like facilitating FGM and the ones who are cutting, then that becomes problematic.
They are now cutting the girls really young as even almost infants.
Dr. Dennis Matanda says poverty and lack of education are the main contributing factors.
In 2003, women without education was about 58%. That number has not gone down up to 2022. It's just gone down by about 2% to 56%. For example, the poorest in 2003 was about 49, about 50% prevalence. That number has only gone down a little bit to 46%.
Tabitha Kibira is a reformed cutter who was initiated into cutting girls by her grandmother due to poverty.
Hiyo wakati nilikumbuka nilikuwa na miaka 13. Kaniambia wewe ukeketa ndio unisaidie. Kwenda kukeketa ama tufanye biashara kwa sababu wanasemanga ni biashara. Naona ndio nikamwambia nikeketa. Nikaenda nikakeketwa Isuzu. Kwa wiki 2 ningatoka. Tukaanza sasa kukeketa. Nikamuuliza sasa nitaanzia wapi? Akasema sika hapo. Ningasika. Alafu akanielezea ukisika hapo utaharibu, sika hapo. Kakeketa kama ni watu wawili tukasukua pesa. Nilikumbuka tulisukuanga 2,500.
Despite convincing her fellow cutters to stop perpetrating FGM, she says they at times threaten to curse her when they have no other source of income.
Kuna mambo wananiambia, wewe Njoro, ulitutoa kwa kazi. Ukasema tutakula vitu kutoka kwa serikali. Sasa hakuna kitu tunakula. Wewe ni wewe tutalania. Kwa sababu sasa tukupe njaa. Na uliona sisi ni mama wazee. Nikawauliza sasa nitafanya nini? Ambia serikali itutabutia hata marawe ama mahindi tukule kwa sababu tutakupa njaa kwa sababu ile kazi tulifanya. Wewe Njoro unakataa tufanye hiyo kazi.
According to the World Health Organization, more than 200 million girls and women alive today have undergone female genital mutilation, FGM, in 30 countries in Africa, the Middle East and Asia, where FGM is practiced. As different declarations against female genital mutilation continue to be made in the country and across the world, the glaring question remains: why do the numbers of survivors of FGM continue to rise? The cutters are now calling on the government to intervene and give them alternative businesses so that they can stop the cut. Sarafina Robi for KBC Channel 1.
And time to get sporty on this Christmas Eve on Bernardo Kumu. Let's begin with handball, where the Kenya Handball Federation has named the National Men's Handball Provisional Squad of 21 players ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations slated for 15th to 29th of January in Egypt. Now, some of the players named in the team are national serials duo of William Malui and Nicholas Okore, Kevin Imo of Kenya Defence Forces, Prevaila Muhani of Equity Bank, and Nicholas Nyongesa of General Service Unit, among others. Now, the championship will also be an Olympic Games qualifier, with the winner making it to Paris, while the two runners-up will proceed to the African Games. Now, Kenya and Rwanda are the only Zone 5 representatives who will take part in the Africa Cup of Nations. The Kenya men's team will start non-residential training on the 27th of this month at Nyayo National Stadium. FC Leopards defeated the National Super League side Mulembe United by a goal to nil to advance to the final of the Lidonde Super Cup at Buhungu Stadium. Now, Leopards did face Kakamega Homeboys in the final and lost that particular final by a goal to nil.
Substitute Kasiria Davis scored the winning goal for Kakamega Homeboys in the 76th minute to hand the host the victory.
Anapiga kule! Go, 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 go!
En route to the final, Kakamega Homeboys beat Nzoia Sugar 2-0, courtesy of goals from Stephen Opoku and Vincent Ogola. Mulembe United clinched the bronze medal after stunning Nzoia Sugar 2-1 in the third place playoffs. AFC Leopards, on the other hand, defeated National Super League side Mulembe United 1-0 to advance to the final. Kakamega Homeboys pocketed 1 million shillings, while AFC Leopards were awarded 500,000 shillings. King Orimwangi for Sunday Express.
And more than 200 players have registered for this year's National Chess Championship, slated for 26th of this month at Charter Hall in Nairobi. Now, the 5-day event will see Kenya's national champions in both the men and women's categories crowned. At stake is a brand new Nissan Note car for the open winner. Cash prizes totaling to 450,000 will also be on offer for other categories. Two-time national champion Mehul Gohil will be the biggest star of the attraction during this year's tournament. Now, Mehul did warm up for the championship, having won the Moranga Open and Bungoma Open Championships, which he was using as preparations for the national tournament. The event will also be used to select the national team for various upcoming international events next year. And the inaugural Eliud Owalo Super Cup tournament will be held between the 26th and 30th of this month. The first day will see Homa Bay lock horns with Migori at Raila Odinga Stadium, while Kisumu will take on Siaya at the Jomo Kenyatta Stadium a day later. The playoffs will be held on the 28th of December. The winner will take on Kenya Premier League defending champions Gor Mahia. The 5-day tournament will feature combined team each from Migori, Homa Bay, Kisumu and Siaya counties. That note where the Owalo Super Cup is set for this week, how we end it on tonight's edition of Sport. Thank you so much for being with us. We wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And Bernardo Kumu, have a good evening.
Merry Christmas to you, Bernard. There will be looking out for that particular tournament. Now, before we call it a wrap this Christmas Eve, is just to remind you, as we're working to enjoying the Christmas festivities, be careful on the road as a driver as well as a pedestrian there. And on top of that, we had a story that we highlighted of 20-year-old Salat, who is seeking medical assistance to pay off his 8 million bill. The till number, in the event that you want to actually support Salat during this festive season, the till number is 4095350. 4095350. That's the till number. You can get further details on our website at www.kbc.co.ke. I'm Regina Manyara. Happy holidays.